Okay. So we will have quiz as an assignments, which will be LMS, which you will be taken. You will be guided through that as well as time progresses. Today is just uh, orientation day, so you don't worry about that one right now. But very important is that you must take sankalpa. Yeah, this is very important. So you can unmute yourself, and once I say, you please repeat after me so that you are able to follow this. The sankalpa will be, I shall chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. All of you must say this.
I shall chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day.
I shall regularly attend Gita classes.
I shall regularly attend Gita classes.
I shall actively participate in discussions during the classes.
I shall actively participate in discussions during the classes.
I shall follow strict messaging ethics on class, chat box, WhatsApp, etc.
I shall follow strict messaging ethics on class chat box, WhatsApp, etc.
So we must note that whatever you have just said, try to follow it, and not just saying, but you must follow in action as well, right? So your young kids, you must become serious now. You have come to level 2. Level 1 was just the basic course. Here we are going to do shloka by shloka, and we are going to dig little deeper into it. And we must note that at the footnote you have read this course is very much free. There is no payment required to learn this course. And in case you feel like donating something, please go through that website and donate. You can donate anytime. And Namnishta Prabhuji, under whose guidance we are all here, sitting and trying to understand Gita in depth right now. It is because of him that we are here. So he is constructing a temple in Mangaluru, and for all of us, so that we can visit Mangaluru temple and we can have great discussions and discourses in that temple. So since he is a sannyasi, we need to help him out. So if in case you ever feel like donating, you anyway we donate, right? Someday or the other, birthdays or anniversaries, some days we donate. So let's donate to the temple and make sure that Namnishta Prabhu is able to, build the temple. We all will help him to build the temple together, right? So make sure that temple does not send any message, personal messages asking for donations. So don't get into this spam messages and all and try to donate to somebody unknown. If ever you have any doubt, you can always email to the temple. Namnishta Prabhu's email is there on the website. You should always go and try to do it. What is there in the chat box? Shivam Nirmal. Today is the first day of level 2. Yes, Prabhuji, Shivam Prabhuji. Yes, it is today is the orientation day. Tomorrow is a holiday. And after this, we will have regular classes. We will decide how we will go about it. So Bhagavad Gita as it is, we have 18 chapters. As you all know, you have done in level 1. Chapter 1 is observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Anybody knows the name? How do we say chapter 1? Anyone? For example, it is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So if you know, please let me know, okay? Chapter 2, anybody knows? Contents of Gita summarized. It is Sankhya Yoga. Chapter 3, anyway, it's written in English also, Karma Yoga. Chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Anyone knows? It's Dhyana Yoga. You are supposed to know now. You are in level 2. Yes, Dhyana Yoga. Chapter 5, Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness is also Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Chapter 6 is Dhyana Yoga. It's already there. Chapter 7. What is chapter 7? Knowledge of the Absolute is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Anyone? Not yet? Okay. I'll be asking, this will be your homework. This is Akshar Brahma Yoga. Then chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. Anyone? Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogam. Chapter 10, the opulence of the absolute. What is that? Vibhuti Yoga.
Yoga.
Yes, very nice. Vibhuti Yoga. Chapter 11, the universal form. Vishwarup Darshan. Chapter 12, devotional service.
Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga, very nice. Chapter 13, nature, the enjoyer and the consciousness. Chapter 13, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Chapter 15, the yoga of the Supreme Person. No? Purana Purushottama Yoga. Chapter 16, the divine and the demoniac nature. No? Daivasur Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. Chapter 17, the divisions of faith. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. And 18th lesson is perfection of renunciation, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. So now that you're in level 2, make sure that you know all the names of the chapters. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Okay. So before we start, we have to understand about Mahabharata, how this scene was all set, right? So Bhagavad Gita was spoken during the episode in Mahabharata, right? It's an epic Sanskrit history, right? It's Mahabharata. What does it tell? It is telling the events that happened, right? It leads up to the present age of Kali. It was at the beginning of this age, some 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. To whom? Whom did he speak Bhagavad Gita to?
Arjuna.
Arjuna. Who was Arjuna? His
Best friend.
his friend and devotee. Yeah. So this took place just before the war. Before the war. And how many kids did Dhritarashtra have?
100.
100. And opposing side, how many were Pandavas?
5.
5. So who were Dhritarashtra and Pandu?
Brothers.
Brothers. They were born in which dynasty?
Kuru dynasty.
Kuru dynasty. Excellent. You're all eligible for level 2. So these Kuru dynasty are descending from King Bharata, right? Former ruler of the earth, from whom the name Mahabharata got derived, right? So now, because Dhritarashtra, the elder brother, he was born blind. So the throne that was otherwise would have been his was passed on to his younger brother, who was Pandu. So when Pandu died at very early age, right? He had 5 children. Can anybody name the 5 Pandavas' names?
Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, Bhima.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So his 5 children, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, they came directly under the care of Dhritarashtra. So that time he was the king. So sons of Dhritarashtra, all those 100 sons and these Pandavas, they grew up in the same household, royal palace. And they were both trained by Guru Dronacharya. And they became experts in their own field. And they were also counseled by their great grandfather. Who was he?
Bhishma.
Bhishma, yes. So the sons of Dhritarashtra, especially the oldest one, what was his name?
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana. He hated and envied these Pandavas. He was like, and the blind and that weak-hearted Dhritarashtra, he was so much attached to his sons. He was not that much attached to Pandu's son, but he wanted his son to get the kingdom, inherit the kingdom. He was attached not only to his son Duryodhana, he was attached to the throne also. So Duryodhana of course, with if Dhritarashtra would not have agreed, Duryodhana can't do much. But with Dhritarashtra's consent, he plotted to kill. He plotted to kill the sons of Pandu. And it was only because of Vidur. Now, who can tell me who Vidur was? Vidura?
The younger brother of
Brother of
Pandu Maharaj.
Younger brother of?
Pandu Maharaj and Dhritarashtra.
Very nice,
Dhritarashtra.
very nice. Hare Krishna. So yeah, because of Vidura, their uncle, they were able to, survive. Of course, no one to beat Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna also was there every step of the way to help them. And Pandavas escaped many attempts that were made on their lives. Now, Lord Krishna, he is not an ordinary man, right? He's Supreme Personality of Godhead. He descended on earth. He was just playing a role of a prince in the contemporary dynasty, right? So in this role, he was a nephew of Pandu's wife. What was the name of Pandu's wife? Mother Kunti, yes. Or another name of Mother Kunti, we have many times you have seen in the shloka. What is that?
Prithvi.
Pritha. Very nice. Very good attempt. Very good attempt. Pritha. So Pandu's wife Kunti's name was also Pritha. She was the mother of Pandavas. So Krishna was related to them, right? So both as relative, and he came to uphold the religion. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He came to uphold the religion. So as an eternal upholder of the religion and also the relative, Krishna always would favor who? Who is following dharma. And who were following dharma here? Pandavas. Yes. And he wanted to protect them because they were righteous. So ultimately what happened, this clever Duryodhana, he challenged them to a gambling dice game. And in that, Duryodhana and his brothers, they took possession of Draupadi. She was just such a chaste, and she was a devoted wife of Pandava. And they insulted her like anything. They stripped her off. They insulted her in the court, in front of all the people assembled in the court, right? In front of so many ministers and Bhishma and Dronacharya, everyone, of course. When she called Govinda, immediately Krishna's divine grace was on her, and Krishna's divine intervention came and saved her. But because of this gambling and all, Pandavas were cheated of this, and they were not only rigged off their kingdom, they were forced into exile also, right? How many years of exile was that?
14.
12 years, Mother.
12 plus 1, Ajñatwas also. So after they came back from exile, what happened? Pandavas said, okay, please give back our kingdom. Rightfully, we have it, right? So give it back to us. But Duryodhana was Duryodhana. He was quite cruel that way, full of Rajasic and Tamasic guna. He bluntly refused. He said, no, I am not giving anything. So the Pandavas said, what is this? Give us some states at least. No. Okay, at least give us 5 villages. No, I am not even going to give you a small pin also. He was like that arrogant and that stubborn. Well, Pandavas throughout were so patient, so kind, so forbearing. But now there was no other choice but to go into war. So now Krishna also went as a peace messenger, tried. Even though Krishna knew what is going to happen, he is almighty, right? So he knew what was going to happen. But then he took the role of a messenger, went over there to represent sons of Pandu, and he tried to ask for, plead for peace. But of course, Duryodhana was not at all interested in all that. Pandavas was very moral. They were full of morality, and they recognized Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Whereas Dhritarashtra's sons did not. So Krishna said, see, I am not going to fight personally. Personally, I am not going to fight at all. If anyone wants, they can get my army. And other side I will be there, but I will not fight. I will be there as a helper and as an advisor. Duryodhana, he was full of Rajoguna. He was like, no, I want Krishna's armed forces. So Pandavas were very happy to have Krishna on their side. They in fact were very grateful and very thankful that Krishna was on their side. So in this way, Krishna became the charioteer of Arjuna. So at this point, it brings the Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita begins when both the armies are arranged in front of each other and they are ready to fight. And Dhritarashtra is full of anxiety. That's how the chapter opens, right? Chapter 1. And he's asking Sanjaya, what is happening in the battlefield? Kim Kurvata? He's asking. So the scene is set. And of course, ultimately, what are we doing is Krishna is our goal. And whatever substance is there in Bhagavad Gita, that is what is our goal. We have to understand what is that. And so far, what he speaks in Bhagavad Gita. So let's see the family tree of Kuru dynasty. It was with Shantanu. Then his first wife Ganga and the second wife was Satyavati. If you want, you can go to Google and you can Google it yourself, and some self-study will be helpful, right? So Ganga's son Bhishma, Satyavati had these two, Vichitravirya and then Chitrangada. Then they both died quite young. So Vyasadeva was called, who was Satyavati's son only, and with his mantra, he got Ambika, Ambalika. They had children because of Vyasadeva's mantra. But Ambika, out of fear, she closed her eyes. So Dhritarashtra was born blind. And Ambalika, what happened was she was also scared, but her face turned white. So Pandu was always sick. And then second time, Ambika was given a chance that, okay, I will again try. But Ambika was so scared. Instead of her, she sent a maid servant. And then Vidura was born, because maid servant was very confident and she was very pious. And so Vidura was born, who was a very knowledgeable minister. Then Dhritarashtra married Gandhari. And he also had a relationship with another maid servant. So Duryodhana and 99 sons were born of Gandhari, and out of the maid one, Yuyutsu was born. Then Pandu married Kunti, and Kunti got Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna. Yudhishthira, Yamaraja. Out of that mantras, you can Google more about it if you want to and read about it. And then from Vayu, Bhima, and from Indra, Arjuna. And Pandu's another wife, Madri, Nakula and Sahadeva were her sons, born out of Ashwani Kumaras, the divine physicians. So this was what Mahabharata was all about. And we will be discussing this in detail. Tomorrow, being Narsimha Jayanti, we won't be having class. And we will start the classes from next week onwards. So I would like to just ask everyone right now if you can unmute or you can raise your hand, and I will ask each one of you as to how you would like, just to understand. Allow participants to unmute. Okay. Let's see. Akshita, would you like to tell? How would you like to have the class?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sure, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Mataji, for me, it will be convenient if it happens on both the days, Saturday and Sunday.
Both the days. Okay, you want both the days, but 1 hour only. If it is one day, then it will be 2 hours.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Abhirama Arjun Prabhuji, would you like to say something? How would you like the class? Because we have very few people here, so we can ask in person each and every one, if you would like to answer. No one else wants to say anything. You can write in the chat box in that case, if you don't want to unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
It
Saloni
will be
Mataji,
great.
yes.
It will be great if it's on both the days.
Okay, you like both the days. Okay, very nice. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Both the days will be okay for me also.
Okay.
Hare
very
Krishna.
nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think for me, both the days would be better.
I can't hear you, Shramita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
For me also, if we have the classes on both the days, that would be better. Mataji.
Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes. Krishna Kumar
Both
Prabhuji.
the days.
Both the
Both the
days,
days
Manisha
would be fine,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay, I got your point. Yes.
Hare Krishna
Both the
Mataji.
days, Mataji.
Okay, Akshita Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Both the days I too agree. And if some discussions in the end happens due to the lessons we learn every day, so that will be really beneficial for me actually, or maybe for all.
So we are saying we should have both the days and you should have some discussion in the end.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Fair enough. Yes. Yes. Anybody else? Others, you can put in chat box if you don't want to speak up. You can always put up, because this is a very small group of 20-30. We should talk to each other, because in future we are going to form Bhakti Vriksha groups also, where you will be discussing, you will be analyzing, you will be doing LMS together. So there will be a lot of discussions going on. So it's better that we talk as a class and we talk to each other. So in case you want to say something, you can. Okay, I assume that some of them said something, so we'll see how it goes. Hare Krishna. Okay, so in case you have any issues regarding classes or any doubts that you have the address over here, the telephone number, the website, and you have a YouTube channel also. You can go and watch the YouTube every time you want to read or listen to any of the videos again and again. Then you have our temple president Namnishta Das Prabhuji is there. Then you can write an email to him in case you want to talk to him or you want to converse with him. So this is ISKCON Sri Sri Radha Govinda Temple, Coconut Garden Road, Kadri Tollgate, Nantur, Mangalore. And the timings, this is the timing, temple office timings. Okay. So we know that the real problem of life is, what is the real problem? The repetition of life and death, right? It is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. So the wheel, however, completely stops. When does it stop? When we are in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is when the wheel will stop. But that has to be with complete unalloyed devotion and faith. So let us hope that all devotees will derive great benefit by studying Bhagavad Gita as it is by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And even if you become little bit purified from what we are and become the pure devotee of Lord, I think we will consider this attempt of understanding Gita level 2 a great success. Hare Krishna. So if you have any questions, we can have it now.